Hello and welcome to Reality Unmasked. Thank you for being here. This is the channel by a poor man to give a voice for the poor people at the sharp end of wealth inequality. Inequality that will soon see me homeless due to inefficient, badly designed housing policies that produce more homeless and more boarded up houses. In this first episode, we'll be discussing how wealth inequality serves the rich to control your choices, even your private life's most intimate relationship, that of marriage. Now, before we begin, I'd like to first thank all the artists across the industries of music, film, and video games of the 70s, 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. For the inspiring works of art that was the expression of our dreams, and the sculptors of our fantasies. I salute you all, those that have passed and those that are still alive but can no longer affect our reality. Many sold out to ensure themselves and their children a life of dignity and luxury, but even they are not to blame for what's coming. Many of them predicted that the way of our world and the system we have will lead us to a lasting darkness. Megadeth's 1992 album Countdown to Extinction, I believe, conveys this the best and is one of my favorites. And now we come to a particular work of art that I believe shows a very important aspect of wealth inequality: the lack of empathy and control of our lives by the elites. Now, I will admit that not all rich people are necessarily heartless, ruthless, and always display a lack of empathy. After all, Gary Stevenson, who's relatively well off, has decided to stand with the poor and disadvantaged people of the world. A shame that more haven't followed his example. The movie in question is Indecent Proposal. In Adrian Lyne's 1993 masterpiece, made $266 million, I think, despite getting mostly negative reviews. Now, if so many people hated it, why did they all watch it? Can it be that it spoke to them about the reality of wealth inequality?
I were to offer you $1 million for one night with your wife. $1 million. Now, the night would come and go, but the money could last a lifetime.
So in the movie, the plot is as follows. Woody Harrelson and Demi Moore play a couple that while traveling meet an eccentric and powerful rich man played by Robert Redford. He offers them $1 million to sleep with the wife. There's a particular scene where the plate craps and the rich man cashes in an absolutely ridiculous amount of money and asks the wife to gamble with it, rolling on any seven. For those that don't know the game, or understand it, it's pretty simple. Basically, you have two dice that you're rolling and all the gamblers betting on the outcome to receive payouts at specific odds. For any 7, there's a 1 in 6 chance of rolling it because of all the different combinations. So the house gives you a little less at 4 to 1. Keep in mind anyone can bet on your roll. So in this scene, the wife rolls a 7 and a ton of money is won. Note here that the rich man is so wealthy that he had no problem gambling an insane amount of money. His mentality had several sinister intents and outcomes. One, he was comfortable with risking a tiny bit of his wealth to take the casino's money, thereby absorbing some of the resources. In other words, the money from other gamblers. Yes, you heard me right. Not the casino, which after all collects your money and is insured by the government for any huge losses that are made, but you, the regular gambler. Had he lost it, you wouldn't get a cent. The casino would get it all. And as we found out later in the movie, he in fact has an investment in the casino as well. Yet another way that the rich can't really lose no matter how bad the economy is. 2, the croupier at the table would have been doubtless fired by his manager, despite having no control over the situation, being at the wrong place at the wrong time. he now has to go home and explain to little Jimmy why they won't be able to afford the house they live in that will probably end up being bought by the rich man anyway. 3. In fact, as a follow-on to that later on in the film, the rich man buys the house the couple lives in and cranks up the price to double as it's a corporate investment. This is to put more pressure on their marriage and force them to split up. 4. He offers the 1 million to have the root of all evil, money, come between them. Ruthless and calculating. Once they accept, he's won. The illusion that the money could help them live a life of comfort and abundance is just that, not real. The rich man displays no empathy or even emotion throughout the film, basically. We'll look at this in the future video. So, what's the conclusion? A rich person can and is controlling your life in all aspects, in your position in society and class level. And it's all done via systems, structures that they are easily manipulating, and all are legal, as designed by the politicians. This is wealth inequality. By having control of the resources and assets combined with a flawed system that allows them to exercise control over your own lives, everything you have is at risk, even your marriage. After all, the number one reason people in the same household fight, regardless of whether they're married or not, is money. When you are married, it's even more critical to get the finances sorted out. There's an incentive there, since divorces always benefit the rich, not the people. And inevitably, when marriages break up, it produces more widespread problems in our society and profits for the businesses owned by the rich. Consider for a second the costs associated with broken homes, moving expenses, lawyers and courts, finding a new dwelling, which is owned typically by the rich. If you're using an agent, well, we know that's a rich man's game. New enrollments for your kids in a new school, psychotherapy costs mainly as drugs, making Big Pharma even richer, again, owned by the rich. If you fall into depression and given drugs but also start gambling, it's double the accumulation for the rich because they also own the casinos. It doesn't really faze the rich what impact the system has on you. Yes, not everyone who's rich is necessarily evil and black-hearted, nor am I claiming that. However, there are lots that are. I always used to say, how many fuckwits does it take to fuck things up for the rest of us? In my humble opinion, it only takes one. Just look at some of the leaders of the world today, destroying the protections our forefathers fought and died for just a couple of generations ago. If not for them, we wouldn't have welfare, education, employment, or even asset owning. Now we come to one of the reasons why some of the rich are like this. Although we'll be discussing this far more in depth, including psychological metrics at a later video, it's important to look at one of the main reasons. There are some rich people that believe they had a hard life earlier on. Though it might be true, I have to then ask you, why are you being oppressive to people that are now in that same situation? Some rich people help the more unfortunate. However, there is a proportion of the rich that don't think that way and simply do it because some of them are just jerks. Now, which do you believe is the truth? I'll leave you with this thought. In Indecent Proposal, the rich man apparently has a change of heart and lets her go in the end. But life is not a movie, and there's almost never a happy ending. What, little Jimmy died? God damn it! Should have sold him to that rich man. If you haven't already, I recommend experiencing the arts of the 70s, 80s, 90s and early 2000s for yourself. Thank you for watching. I do all my own recording and editing work. If you feel you got some value out of my videos, please help support this channel by liking and subscribing. If it's successful, I'll add Patreon later. See you next time on Reality Unmasked.